Has anyone ever asked you to play a game of Monopoly and you reluctantly accepted because the last game of Monopoly that you played took hours, days, weeks, months, or even years, or even destroying that very long-term friendship? Or do you like the satisfying feeling of going bankrupt? Well, now you get to revisit that feeling every single time you play Monopoly in this much faster and quicker version of Monopoly, Monopoly Speed. I land on the Strand and I pay $1,000 to the bank to buy it. Dude, time's up. But it's not the end of my turn. That game went by so quickly, I've already packed up and ready to go to bed. Monopoly Speed is a version of Monopoly that is guaranteed to take no longer than 10 minutes. Over the decades, players from all households have risked their lives and their livelihood to tackle the very lengthy game of Monopoly by rolling the dice, trading properties, and ignoring the rules of Monopoly altogether by introducing their own house rules that made the game go on forever. In this version of Monopoly, the designers have simplified the rules and introduced this real-time element to the game. Yes, they've literally included a timer to ensure that your game of Monopoly will take less time than it takes to order a pizza. Gone are the silver tokens and the dreaded double dice, and in their place we have these speedy, bold coloured play pieces, each with its own accompanying single coloured die. Players can choose from some amazing pieces, including a yellow cat, a green dog, a red car, and just because they're fast, a blue boat. All of the properties on the game board are now the same price of 1,000 Monopoly dollars. And now, instead of one ghost space, there are two ghost spaces, which means you can collect money twice, 1,000 Monopoly dollars in fact, as you zoom like a maniac around the board. In terms of a jail, there is a jail space, but also there isn't. Sounds a little strange? Let me explain. There is a space that sends you to jail like some sort of board game criminal. Well, playing Monopoly feels criminal sometimes. But when you get sent to the jail space, you're allowed to keep rolling your die as if the jail space was unlocked. That's it, a jail space that doesn't function as a jail space, which really is just a space then, with pretty art. Oh. Well, if you commit the crime, you should do the time. Well, your sentence was supposed to be 5 turns long and 3 doubles ago, but I guess because this game goes for 10 minutes, we can let you go. All of the properties are now worth $1,000 at the end of the game, and $2,000 if you manage to attain a complete coloured set of properties. However, in this version of Monopoly, players cannot buy any houses or hotels. The chance and community chess cards have also changed in this version of the game. The chance cards allows you to make some very powerful deals with the other players during the trading phase. In this chance card, choose any one property owned by another player. That player must immediately return that property to the board. Keep this card until you're ready to use it. Swap any of your properties with any one of another player's properties. Steal any one property from another player. Cancel a chance card that is played against you. The community chess cards that are found in the game serve to provide players with endgame bonuses. At the end of the game, if you have the complete red property set, add $4,000 to your total cash. At the end of the game, if you have the yellow set, add $4,000 to your cash. At the end of the game, if you have a waterworks and electric company, add $2,000 to your cash. At the end of the game, if you have the complete pink property set, add $3,000 to your cash. At the end of the game, if you have at least one complete property set, add $1,000 to your total cash. At the end of the game, if you have at least one yellow property and one blue property, add $2,000 to your cash. Starting a game of Monopoly Speed is very different to the other different versions of Monopoly. In this version, because there's only one note denomination, that is $1,000 notes, players begin with $5,000 already in hand. They begin with 3 endgame goals in the form of 3 community chess cards, as well as 4 powerful chance cards that they can use throughout their 10-minute game. A game of Monopoly Speed begins when a player hits this very game show-like red buzzer. There are no set player turns in Monopoly Speed, so players are all going to be rolling and moving at the same time. The 4 rounds are going to zoom by quickly, and they range from 30 seconds to 10 seconds a pop. Landing on an unowned property space allows that player to purchase it for 1,000 Monopoly dollars. It doesn't matter at this point which ones you buy, as long as you satisfy the goal on your community chess cards and nab more properties than the other players. You can always gain more money by passing go multiple times. I mean, who needs auctions and rent, right? If a player runs out of money, they keep going until they pass the next go space and thus collect more money. When the horn sounds, the buying phase switches like some sort of sushi train carousel and it becomes trading time. During the trading phase, players flip over their top chance card, which players may use immediately or save it until another trading stage later on. Now, like a stockbroker on Wall Street, players can buy, trade, or sell any properties, including swapping, chance, and community chest cards. This is all with the aim of gaining a complete property set or earning community chest bonuses. As the next horn sounds, the buying stage continues like some sort of mad animal stampede, except it's the players. At the end of the game, players count up the total value of cash that they have in hand, as well as their value of their properties, and any amount of money that is triggered from community chest cards that they have in their possession. Monopoly Speed is a fast, hectic game that definitely has players finishing the game on time. It has players rolling dice madly like they're in some sort of mad Zumba class, and the fact that players are only rolling a single die means that the chance of rolling a number from 1 to 6 is equally likely. Unlike in the original version of Monopoly, where if you rolled 2 dice, certain numbers and outcomes were favoured more than others. In this version of Monopoly, the focus here is more on the trading and acquiring the properties that you need to make complete sets, without the unnecessary mathematical calculations involved. And the race is on. Green Dog chasing Cat breaks out early into the lead, followed closely by Yellow Cat. As they round the corner, Yellow Cat takes the lead. But what's this? Red Car is zooming by in an unprecedented move. Red Car has overtaken the others. It's Red Car followed by Yellow Cat, trailed by Green Dog chasing Yellow Cat. But wait, by rolling multiple 6s in a row, it's the underdog, Blue Boat, cruising past all of the others to win the entire game of Monopoly. Monopoly Speed is limited by the fact that all of the diversity and richness and nostalgia from the original Monopoly game has been sucked dry out of this game by making all the properties the same amount of money, as well as all the properties giving you the same amount of money at the end of the game, has really taken away the distinctiveness that each of the property sets had in the original game, especially the idea that those dark blue properties were worth so much more than the brown properties on the board. Because everything is the same in the game, including the amount of cash that you have, this oversimplification of the game has really sucked a lot of the fun out of it that I really connected with in the original Monopoly game. This game is so fast and frenetically paced due to the introduction of the timer, meaning that there's huge pressure to roll as fast as you can humanly possibly can to try and get to as many spaces around the board, and naturally, someone who can roll faster than you is probably going to land on more properties and secure some of those properties that they want faster than you'll be able to. And that's an element that I find really detracts from the decision making that could have made this game far richer. Ultimately, the new rules for this version of Monopoly have oversimplified Monopoly and watered it down a little bit too far for me. It's probably a game that I would suggest that you try before you buy. Even though the game has a very short playtime, it's probably unlikely that I'll choose this game first over another richer and more diverse contemporary board game that's on my shelf. But if you disagree, definitely have a look at this game, try it out, see what you think, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you once again for joining me for another Board Game Sanctuary video. If you really like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as well as comment in the comments section below which version of Monopoly you like to play. Now, if you really want to help this channel grow, don't forget to head over to my Patreon page, as well as our Facebook page, to get all of the latest news updates. Otherwise, this is Danny signing out. I hope your next game is an amazing one. Goodbye!